Hello? Hello, this is so exciting. I'm back. I haven't streamed in like 2 months. Oh god, I have to turn my fan off because I can see the audio levels like going crazy. Hold on. It's gonna be really hot in here. Hold on, let me fix it. Okay, that went down. I hope it's better. My model's kind of doing some crazy stuff, but that's okay. Hi, everyone! How are we doing? It's been a while. So here's the thing, is that I kind of took a break from streaming so I could focus on school because I've been crazy busy. And I will continue to be crazy busy. Next semester, I'm planning on taking 3 separate acting classes, which is kind of a lot. But I'm back right now. I've been wanting to stream. I've missed it so much. And I finally thought that if I can't do school and stream, why don't I do them both at the same time? Like, I can do my homework. That's what we're doing today, is we're doing one of my finals. Do my finals with me seemed like a dumb name for a stream, though I didn't think anyone would click on that. But I'm taking a class that's like, it's kind of a voice acting class, and doing some editing right now. I'm creating an audiobook of like this version of The Little Mermaid that I really like, and I have all of the audio here, and you can see I've already started editing it. But I was having trouble focusing, and then I thought, so a way that I like get my brain to focus on things sometimes, right, is to pretend that I'm like teaching someone else how to do it. And I was doing that and it was still not quite working. So I was like, why am I pretending? Like I'll get on stream and I'll just actually go over how Audacity works. So yeah, we're in this program called Audacity. It's a lovely little free program. It's what I use to record in. You literally just click the record button and go. But now I'm working on editing. So like I said, I have this version of The Little Mermaid, and I have the text here, and yeah, we're just about getting to where the sea witch comes in. Yeah, so I guess we can just listen through a little bit of what we've got here. So this is the section I was just working on. Most of the editing I'm doing right now, I recorded the narration separately, and then I have like I did all of the voices, but I recorded them separately from the narration, so like the different parts together. So if you can hear that.
Humans were afraid of mermaids. They believe that everyone should have 2 of those props they call legs, her grandmother had said. And they think our tails are very ugly, the Little Mermaid thought.
Yeah, so you kind of get the idea. So yeah, we're just going through and we're gonna edit it, and I figure we can talk while I do that. And it'll be fun! I've missed this so much. Okay. So let me just check. Okay, so this is actually gonna move over a little bit because we need some more of the dialogue here. I recorded each character on a different track. This one, it's called dialogue. This section over here is actually the mermaid's dialogue because I recorded like each character individually. Okay. So we're gonna solo this track, so this is the only one I can hear. And then we'll listen for a little bit.
If only I had legs. If only I had legs. Perhaps then I could
okay. I only recorded 2 of this line. I think I recorded each line twice. I don't fully remember though. This was a little while ago that I did the recording. I was trying, by the way, while I was recording, it was the one time they decided they had to mow the lawn right next to my window. So that was great. Okay, let's listen to that again.
If only I had legs. If only I had legs.
I think I prefer that first one. I think I like that inflection better. So I'm gonna take this second one. So I just right click and then click this split clip there. You can do Control I as well, but I like to right click. And I'm just gonna take that one out. Don't need it, don't want it. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring these together. So this is kind of weird. It's one of the only spots, actually I think this is the only spot so far where it's 2 pieces of dialogue right in a row. So I'm gonna listen to this together and just see how it sounds, the transition between those 2.
And they think our tails are very ugly. If only I had legs.
Okay. So I want to move this a little bit further because I want more space between that. I don't really like how the end of this clip sounds.
Tails are very ugly.
Yeah, because you can like hear my breath still at the end of this. So I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to just drag. Oh, I can't drag the end. That's actually the end of the recording. That's great. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it like that. And then I have this little bit that's literally just the breath at the end. Yeah. And then we're going to go up to effects and fading. And we're just going to put a little fade out on that and see how that sounds.
Ugly.
There we go. Because then it like actually ends. I think I must have stopped the recording while I was still breathing. So you can hear it directly cut off. And then if we put these back next to each other, it'll sound a little bit more like there's a transition between them.
Very ugly. If only I had legs.
Okay, there's also, it looks like a little bit of paper rustle. Whoop! Didn't mean to do that. Wait, what is happening? Okay, anyway. There's like a little bit of paper rustling right at the beginning of this. So I'm gonna take that out and we'll listen again.
Very ugly. If only I had legs.
Yeah, okay. I do want a bit more space between them. I'm gonna see how it sounds with the gap there. I might need to put some room tone in between it.
Those are very ugly. If only I had legs.
Yeah. Do I have a little bit of room tone anywhere? We're just gonna take right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy this. And I'm literally just gonna put it right there. Room tone is like when you're recording, there is a little bit of sound that's happening when there's nothing else. Like, maybe there's some kind of like lights buzzing or something, or breathing, or whatever there is in the room that like might be quiet enough that you don't even notice it, but you do notice when it's not there. Like it disappears really suddenly. And it sounds weird, so we're gonna try with that in there.
Very ugly. If only I had legs.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Okay, so now we can move forward. We've got from there, which is good because I think the grandmother's lines are the one that I want to listen back to the least. Like, I think I did fine with everyone else, but I don't like how that piece of dialogue sounds. But we're gonna move on because I don't want to re-record anything.
If only I had legs. The Little Mermaid thought.
Okay. So you can hear a lot of these like mouth sounds. I had the mic a little bit too close to me and I didn't realize it until too late. But that's okay. I might actually turn it down in my own ears a little bit as well. I don't know how that's sounding volume-wise to you guys. Okay. Let's listen through.
If only I had legs. The Little Mermaid thought.
See, there's like a huge gap between there. I want them to be much closer together. Like, I still want a little bit of dead air because I don't want it to go right immediately from one to the other. But
If only I had legs. The Little Mermaid thought.
see, that's already way better. Again, I want to pull it a little bit closer though. Wah 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 wah.
If only I had legs. The Little Mermaid thought.
Oh, there we go. I like that. We're gonna listen to that again.
If only I had legs. The Little Mermaid thought.
That's perfect. Okay. I always find, like, there's a little bit of a rhythm to it. Like, you know when you're listening to music, and, like, obviously the song has a beat. What am I trying to say? The song has a beat, and, like, if you're not lined up with the beat of the music, like, if the next line of the song comes in a beat late, you're gonna notice it, it's gonna sound weird, and I find that that's true just with speaking too. Like, not if you're speaking off the cuff, but in a recording, like, especially if you're reading something like this. And this in particular, I was going for a very bedtime story kind of vibe. And so it has this really rhythmic, soft, like, I want people to fall asleep while they're listening to this. Yes, so let's move on. Okay. If only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Okay, then we need the next piece of dialogue. So again, we're gonna solo this track so I can hear just the 2 takes and see which one I prefer.
Perhaps then I could make the prince love me. Perhaps then I could make the prince love me.
Oh, I kind of like the second one. I like the higher, where it's like, perhaps then, where it goes up. I think that sounds better. Okay. So we're gonna need to split this one and move it backwards. Oh, I forgot to split this off as well. Here, I'm gonna leave plenty of space in case I need that room tone again. Okay. And then we're gonna unsolo it so I can hear it all together. This again has like some noise right before it. If you look, you can see like these really slight peaks. They're like just dots on there. I love, hold on, when you zoom in all the way in Audacity, it looks really cool. You can see it, like all of these little dots, and you can see how they make a line when it's all the same volume, in this case being nothing. Let me actually, hold on, if I'm gonna show you that, let me go over to one that'll have like actual peaks. Yeah, we'll go over here. And you can see how each of those is its own line with its own dot, and that's kind of what makes the waveform up. Okay. Zoom back out. See, I'm getting distracted. This is the whole point of me streaming this, is that it's gonna keep me from getting distracted. Or at least be distracted in a different way. Okay.
Had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Perhaps then I could make...
Okay, see, I don't like that breath in there. I wanna just take that out.
The Little Mermaid.
I changed my mind on this. I do want it to be a little bit closer. We'll try this again.
Only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought.
That's better.
Perhaps then...
And then I want to move that over too.
Only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Perhaps then I could...
See, now that's too close. Like it doesn't transition neatly.
If only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Perhaps then I could make the
That's still
prince
too
love
close.
me.
See, so much of it is just feeling it and just listening to it back and going, oh, that, or like, oh, I like that, or that's too close or too far or whatever. Okay.
If only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Perhaps then I could make the prince love me.
That's still a tiny bit too close. I just want to nudge it a little bit.
If only I had legs, the Little Mermaid thought. Perhaps then I could make the prince love me.
There we go! Boom! See? That sounded good. Okay. So now it's back to the narration. So this bottom track is entirely the narration. You can see I recorded that all in one giant chunk. I say I recorded it all in one chunk. It's all like one track. Once I'm recording, when I'm doing any kind of voice work, I literally just hit record and I don't stop until I've finished the whole thing, and there will be all kinds of bullshit in the middle. Like every single one of my outtakes, there have been several parts I've cut out that have just been me telling my cat to shut up. I love him so much, but... Okay. Okay.
Then I could make the prince love me.
Yeah, see, now there's this huge gap here. I'm gonna take some of this off. I don't need all of that. We'll move this closer. I enjoy just dragging things around in Audacity.
Make the prince love me. Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
Oh, I prefer that second one, like by a long shot. Okay. So we're gonna delete that, get that out of there. Did I record it a third time? Wait.
In the very depths of the...
No, I didn't. Okay.
Love me. Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
Okay, I like the sound of that so far, but I'm gonna go back a little bit further. I feel like so much of editing is just listening to the same 2 seconds a billion times.
Perhaps then I could make the prince love me.
Whoa, did you hear that? It like cut out for a second.
Perhaps then I could make the prince love me. Then?
Yeah, see, that's too much of a gap. Like, it sounded better when I only listened to part of it. I feel like you have to listen to the whole sentence. Okay.
Perhaps then I could make the prince love me. Then, the Little Mermaid.
That's not enough of a gap now. I think part of the problem, I think I need to get rid of some of this space. So this is another way. I've been like splitting the clip to delete things, but you can also just highlight a small section and then hit either delete or backspace. And that will keep it like together as one clip, so there's no space in there, which means you can't really undo that one. I tend to only do that if I'm getting rid of like a small bit of dead air. But if I want to delete like actual audio, I'll pretty much never do that.
Then, the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, see, why did I pause like that when I recorded it? Why did I do that?
Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
See, there's another pause there. Terrible thing. Like, why, I don't know how that happened.
Terrible thing.
Get rid of a little bit more of that. Okay. And I want to get rid of a little bit more there, too, because this all needs to be one line.
Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
There we go. That's much better. A lot of my problem when I'm acting is that I need to slow down. So sometimes I try to do it, and I slow myself down a little bit too much or put too many spaces and gaps. Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to this transition
Make
again.
the prince love me. Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
Yeah, see, this is still... It's this gap that's bothering me. I like the amount of space between these two words.
Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
Oh, that sounds so much better. That sounds so much better.
Perhaps then I could make the prince love me. Then, the Little Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing.
Let's go! We got it. Okay. So now we can keep moving forward. We're about to get to the Sea Witch, which I had a lot of fun recording. That one was a lot of, like, how can I be the Sea Witch without being Ursula? And this gap also, I think, is going to need to be smaller, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to listen to it first.
Terrible thing. In the very depths of the...
Yes, there's like we're just going to, boop, get rid of some of that dead air.
Terrible thing. In the very depths of the...
Okay, so we're actually going to delete that one because that I must have messed up. That's another thing about doing voice stuff is that if I mess up, like I said, the entire thing is one recording. So if I mess up, like I just kind of stop and breathe and do it over. But I don't actually stop recording or like get out of it at all. Okay. Let's move this over a little bit. I'm also gonna take this and I'm gonna move it back just further wherever back here so that it's not overlapping with the part we actually need to hear. Okay. Let's do this again.
I need to wait for that noise to pass.
Oh!
Okay.
That's not in the script. See, I don't even remember. I recorded for like probably half an hour straight to get the narration. And like that doesn't sound like very long, but when you're acting the whole time, it kind of is. Like I pretty much just did a 30-minute monologue. Right, I was just talking about there being a noise. Okay.
Okay. In the very...
There we go. All right, so we can delete around up to there. I might need to bring some of that back to get that room tone again. We'll find out.
In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful, so the Little Mermaid went to seek her advice.
Mm-hmm.
In the very depths of the
Those
ocean,
mouth
there lived an
sounds.
ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful.
Oh,
So
why
the
is it
little-
skipping like that? Hold on.
In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked.
Is it? I wonder if that's my headphones or if it's like... Ugh. Hold on.
She was wicked but
There we
very
go.
powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice.
Okay, I think I prefer the first one on that.
In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice. In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice.
Yeah, I like the first one. Okay, so we're gonna cut it before those like mouth sounds start happening. Like I said, I was too close to the mic when I was recording, and I didn't realize it until too late. Such is life. Okay. Ugh. Also, I need to reset my model because she's leaning down too much. There we go. Hello, Fizzy. Okay.
Then the little mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depths of the ocean.
Okay. This needs a bigger space between it. So you can click on the end here after I cut it, and I can literally just drag it out, and that adds what I cut back onto it.
Decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depths of the ocean.
Actually, this is what I want to do. Okay. So I like this spacing on this end, but I think I need to drag it out a bit more from this side. If it'll let me. There we go. Because of the way it cuts off that word thing there. Okay.
Little mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depths of...
Yeah, there we go. I do want to transition a little bit faster because the... Okay.
Mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depth...
Okay. We're gonna undo that and just move it closer.
The little mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depths of the...
No, I preferred it with that. Can I trim this just a little bit more there? Because I need to make sure that this word cuts off correctly, but then this one starts correctly.
Terrible thing. In the very depths of...
There we go. Okay, we're gonna go back a little bit.
Then the little mermaid decided to do a terrible thing. In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice.
Okay. This, again, has just a tiny little mouth sound thing there, so I'm just gonna highlight it. Just that little tiny bit. Boop. Because I like the spacing otherwise. Okay.
Then the little mermaid decided to
Did
do
you
a
know the Little Mermaid
terrible
decided to do a
thing.
terrible thing?
In the very depths of the ocean, there lived an ancient sea witch. She was wicked but very powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice.
Okay. I like this gap over here. I do think I want to make this one a little bit smaller because that should be like one thought. She was powerful, so the Little Mermaid went to seek her advice. I put a comma there because that was a good spot to breathe in. That was a natural break in the sentence, but I think I took a little bit too much of a breath.
She was wicked but very powerful. So the little mermaid went to seek her advice.
There we go. That sounds better. Okay, now let me check my script. Okay, so we have some more narration. So this, again, I can already tell that that gap's gonna be too big, so I'm just gonna get rid of it before I even start anything else.
To seek her advice. When the little mermaid entered the sea witch's cave, the sea witch stared at her and cackled.
I think I recorded that twice.
When the little mermaid entered the sea witch's cave, The sea witch stared at her and cackled.
Yeah, the first one is way better. You can hear, again, I did this like weird thing where it was like cackled.
Cackled.
Yeah. Ah, what did I just do? Okay, great. So we'll get rid of that one. Move this over and then, okay. Can you hear all my clicking sounds? Isn't that so fun? It's because I'm on a laptop doing all of this. Okay.
Take her advice. When the Little Mermaid...
Yeah, see, there's like a huge gap there. It's, I mean, you can see that's at 5:42. And that's at 5:43. Yeah, like that's over a full second of pause. Which sounds like nothing, but it is not nothing. Okay.
It went to seek her advice. When the Little Mermaid entered the sea...
That's still a little bit too much, but not as bad. We're gonna... That should be about right.
To seek her advice. When the Little Mermaid entered the...
Okay, hold on. I want to go back a little bit further and listen to that again.
So the Little Mermaid went to seek her advice. When the Little Mermaid entered the sea witch's cave, the sea witch stared at her and cackled.
Okay. So here's the next thing I have to do. Which is that it says she cackled, but I did not record a cackle, so we're gonna have to cackle. Oh god. I'm so bad at playing evil characters. Like I don't have a good evil laugh. And when I do try to evil laugh, I sound like Candace Flynn. Like, you know, the kind of laugh. Okay. I am gonna reset my model in a second because I'm about to stand up to do the cackle, and that's gonna do things. Yeah. There we go. That's better. It can't see me fully because the microphone's in the way. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Reset. Hello! You can't see me waving at you. Ooh, there's my cat. He just woke up. Okay, let's practice some cackling, shall we? See, I can't do a good cackle. I wanna actually, hold on. Excuse me while I sit back down after I adjusted my model to a standing position, but I wanna go up here to the Sea Witch's line and I wanna unmute it. Okay, we're gonna solo that. I just wanna hear the voice a little bit so I can remember like what I did.
I know why you have come, foolish princess.
Right, her voice was very forward. I had a lot of fun doing that, where her voice, like my whole mouth is going forward every time I speak, every vowel, and then it's a little bit gravelly, and yeah, okay.
No, that was bad. Not that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go onto the Sea Witch track and see.
One who had saved him, but she
Hold on. Okay, let me delete that because, so I want to unsolo this. This is the thing, is I have to mute everything and not just solo it. Something Audacity does is it plays everything around you while you're recording, which can be very helpful in a lot of cases. I'm gonna do that actually later. When I do this, you can see the spirits there, that the spirits like all talk at once, and I want to record myself doing more than one track, so I want to overlap it and be able to hear that when I do it. But for just the cackle, I don't want to hear anything else underneath it, and I don't want you guys to be hearing anything underneath it. All right. Okay, so now I'm recording, and I'm just gonna try a couple little cackles, and we're gonna see what comes out and how it sounds, and if I like any of them. So, are we ready, gang? I hate that I just called you gang. Okay. See, that was a little bit too Wicked Witch for me. It needs to be like lower. Gotta get into my chest voice.
See, the Sea Witch talks like this.
It's making me actually laugh. Okay. I'm gonna take a drink. I'm drinking grape juice, by the way. I don't typically do that while I'm streaming. I usually have a Gatorade, but I love grape juice. See, this is all the shit that I have on recordings. This is why I don't get any work done. We've been streaming for 30 minutes and gotten maybe 30 seconds of my audio edited. Okay.
The sea witch voice.
Yeah. Oh, what if we do that? Like a lower, like chuckling sort of cackle. That, I think, suits this more intimidating. Okay. Okay, we've got a few different takes. So I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna sit back down, even though my cat just took my chair. I'm gonna sit back down, and then I'm gonna readjust my model because I'm sure she's freaking out that I just moved from standing to sitting. Hello again, Fizzy. Okay. Okay, so now I'm recording, and I'm just gonna try a couple. There's like all of this background noise, is it? Wait. Oh. Okay. So here's the problem, is because I'm streaming. Hello? Oh, my stream just froze for a second. Okay. Because I'm streaming, my actual good microphone doesn't want to connect to Audacity and also OBS. I'm trying to think what I can do about that. Honestly, do I hate this? Let me find one of the cackles.
And I'm just sounds, and if I like any of, we're ready, gang. I hate.
Okay. So we're gonna delete everything except the cackles.
See, that was a little bit too Wicked Witch for.
See, it does like, it peaks a little bit. I don't know if I like that. Okay. Well, there's one cackle. We'll keep that. We'll hold on to it. We have it there in case, but I a little bit hate that one.
See, that was a little bit too Wicked Witch.
Yeah, I know. I already said that.
It needs to be like lower.
Yes. Okay. Gotta get into my chest voice.
See, the sea witch talks like this.
Okay, I don't hate that one as much.
This.
If I can keep a little bit of that hiss in there, actually, that's quite nice. So we'll slide that over. Oh. Alright. Those aren't awful cackles either. And then this is my actual laugh. That's not sea witch like at all.
It's making me actually laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna take a drink.
Yes, and then I talk about my grape juice for a bit.
I love grape juice.
Oh my god, how long did I talk about grape juice?
On recordings. This is why I don't get any work done.
We've been streaming for 30 minutes and gotten maybe 30 seconds.
The sea witch voice.
Yeah.
See, all of them, it's because I'm using the bad microphone. It connected to my headphones. And my headphones have a terrible quality microphone. You guys know that. I used to stream with my headphone mic. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that is almost a little bit like stereotypical French guy. You know? I don't like that. I'm just gonna delete it entirely because there's no chance of me using that one.
Oh, what if we do that? Like a lower, like chuckling sort of cackle.
That, I think, suits this more intimidating. Okay. Okay, Alright. So we've got a couple options then. None of them are great. I'm not super happy with any of them. Let's listen to them all again. See, they're all bad. I kind of don't hate this one though. Like the last one. Yeah, and it doesn't peak the audio too bad either. So I think that's the one we're gonna keep. It's not my favorite thing I've ever done, but honestly, it could be worse. Okay, so here's one annoying thing about Audacity is that you can't overlap audio on the same track. So you have to entirely move it. Like I have to go over and around to get it to come down. So we'll put it down here, and then I need to unmute both of these tracks since those are the ones I'm actually using. Okay, I do want to, as it comes over, see, I'll take her and cackled. See, this is way louder. I do want to reduce it a little bit. I could, yeah, okay. So we're gonna go volume and compression, and then I use this one amplify, and then you just amplify it negatively to make it quieter. Just stared at her and cackled. Yeah, there we go. That's not bad. Just stared at her and cackled. Oh yeah, I can deal with that. I've done better, I've done worse. Okay. Now I want to go and take the actual Sea Witch's dialogue. Okay, I'm going to move this track. So I right click on the track here and then click move track down. And then I can put it so I can see it more directly next to what I'm doing. Okay, and then we'll solo it so I can hear the first line. I know why you have come, foolish princess. Okay.
I know why you have come, foolish princess. I know why you have come, foolish princess.
Okay, I like that second one more, because I think there's a little bit of an implication when I put the emphasis like that, that the mermaid was about to talk, and she was like, you don't have to, I know. Okay, so I'll put that on the dialogue track, and we'll unmute it. Oh, I soloed this one, whoops. Okay. So I want to remove a lot of the space at the beginning of this one. Like I want it to go almost right up to it because I want to combine it with the cackle so it sounds like it's one thing.
I know why you have come, foolish princess.
Okay, like I think I almost might even... rawr, rawr, rawr. I think I might actually overlap them. Just the littlest bit.
I know why you have...
No, that's bad. I don't like that at all. Okay. So we're gonna go right there. Boom. Okay, let's see.
I know why you have...
Oh, there we go. That sounds right. Hold on 1 second. I've just received a really important message that I have to pause the stream and respond to right away. That's not true. It wasn't important at all. I tricked you. Okay. Okay, let's hear that.
Cackled. I know why you have come, foolish princess.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So then we pull the narration back over. Okay.
Come, foolish princess.
Whoa. I didn't mean to start it right there. Oh my god, that's a very different audiobook. I do love a sexy evil woman, but maybe not like that. This is meant for like 5-year-olds. I say that. So we haven't gotten to the ending yet. Obviously, we're still, oh my god, we're only 6 minutes in. The whole thing is like 15 minutes long. This is due tomorrow, guys. It's not gonna be done tomorrow. I shouldn't admit that on stream because I sent the link to the stream to my professor and like, if you're listening, I promise I've done my work on time like a good student. Okay.
Come, foolish princess, she said.
There we go. I think that timing's pretty good.
I know why you have come, foolish princess, she said.
Yeah, I can deal with that. No, I want to move this back a little bit. See, this is my problem. Is that everything I keep, like, being like, oh, that's a little bit not perfect, but I can deal with it, and then my brain takes over and, like, I have to.
Why you have come, foolish princess, she said.
See, that's so much better. Just that little tiny difference. Okay. And then there's a huge gap there, which I left because I knew there was going to be, like, the next line of dialogue is pretty long. I can give you legs, but it will not be easier for you. But it will not be easy for you. Yeah, here we get into, this is like, we're at classic fairy tales. This is very Hans Christian Andersen adjacent. Give you legs, but each step you take will feel as if you are treading on sharp knives. Wouldn't that have been fun in the Disney movie? Okay. So we're gonna solo this again so I can listen to that.
Oh, I can give you legs, but it will not be... I can give you legs, but it will not be easy for you. You will be as graceful as you are now, but each step you take will feel as if you are treading on sharp knives. I can give you legs, but it will not be easy for you. You will be as graceful as you are now, but each step you take will feel like you are treading on sharp knives.
That second one is better. I put a lot more emphasis into my voice and like a lot more like on each word, and I do want to keep that. Here, as I like turned the page as soon as I was done talking, which is a bad thing to do.
Sharp knives.
Yeah, you can hear that paper rustling like immediately, so we're gonna have to split that pretty early. Okay, and then bring it down to the dialogue. We gotta unsolo the Sea Witch track. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of that. Alright. So let's hear this now.
She said, I can give you legs, but...
Yes, this needs a little bit more space.
Yes, she said, I can give you legs, but...
Yes, that's perfect. And then we want some of that room tone back. Boop. There we go. I like to overlap the room tone a little bit when I'm doing that. Okay. And then, obviously, because this is a longer line, this needs to be moved all the way down there. Okay. And let's listen.
Yes, she said, I can give you legs, but it will not be easy for you. You will be as graceful...
Okay. And then this, like, breath sound, we're gonna get rid of that.
Will not be easy for you. You will be as graceful as you are now, but each step you take will feel like you are treading on sharp knives, replied the little mermaid.
Okay, there we go. I don't think I need to do much more editing to this whole block there. I'm happy with that. And then this already sounded pretty good. I can see that there's a little bit there. Okay, so we're gonna bring it closer, but not too much closer because I didn't mind that gap. Mind the gap.
On sharp knives, replied the little mermaid.
Maybe a little bit closer than that, actually. Okay.
On sharp knives, replied the little mermaid.
There we go. Okay, we'll go back and listen a little bit further back. See, look at me actually getting shit done now.
Will feel like you are treading on sharp knives, replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
Yeah. That, again, I took a bit too much of a pause here. And, like, I don't want to remove a ton of that because I do still want a pause.
Replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
See, that's like, I made it like two separate thoughts. That needs to be like a comma. I made it a semicolon. Okay.
replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
There we go. That's good. Oh, right, duh. I forgot, obviously. It has the replied the Little Mermaid part. I need her actual reply then, don't I? Okay, so we'll go back up here to the mermaid lines.
I do not mind. I do not mind. I will still do it.
Okay. So I have 2 takes here. Which one do I like more? Hold on.
I do not mind. I do not mind.
I think I prefer the first one. Also, I'm realizing right now, listening to that the voice I did for the mermaid is literally just the voice I do for Sonia when we're playing Danganronpa. No! I am Sonia Nevermind. Okay. I do not mind. She said it. Sonia, I do not mind. My brain is so empty, you guys. I am ready for final season to be over. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. That's gonna be a huge gap. Let me get rid of some of that. Yeah, that's like a full second. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Knives. I do not mind.
Okay, so let me move that a little bit further, actually. I want a bigger gap. Because obviously it's 2 different characters talking, but it's only me doing all the voices. Fizzy is so talented.
Treading on sharp knives. I do not mind.
But see, now a little bit closer than that.
Treading on sharp knives. I do not mind.
There we go. Okay, and then we'll draw that room tone out if it'll let me. Come on. Come on. There we go. Thank you. And then we'll unsolo this so I can hear the next line too.
Knives. I do not mind, replied the little...
Ugh, all those mouth sounds. I'm sorry you guys have to listen to that. I'm not sorry, actually. Okay, it'll be better in the final product because there's gonna be some kind of wave, ocean-y sound underneath it. I'll be honest though, that's not happening tonight. I'm gonna show up in class tomorrow and not be done editing yet. Okay.
Sharp knives. I do not mind, replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
There we go. This gap here is still too much. Arr, 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 arr.
Knives. I do not mind, replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
That's way better. Okay. I want to go back. I want to hear more of the witch's dialogue before that, just to make sure that transition is smooth.
You will be as graceful as you are now, but each step you take will feel like you are treading on sharp knives. I do not mind, replied the little mermaid, thinking only of the prince.
There we go. That's it. That's it. Boom, we did it. Moving on. There is like a real sense of triumphance. Is that a word? Sense of triumphance? Yeah. That makes sense, I think. Like every time I move to the next thing. Okay. So now we need some more Sea Witch dialogue. Sea Witch. Okay. We'll move her over a bit and then again solo that.
There is more. There is more. Once you have taken...
Okay.
There is more. There is more.
Okay, I prefer that second one. Nice and short. And unsolo, of course. All right. I keep zooming in and out. I do so much zooming while I'm in Audacity. There's something so satisfying about it, though. All right.
Only of the prince. There is more.
Okay, that we need more space. which means I'm also gonna need more space down here. Thinking only of the prince.
There is more.
Yeah, that's perfect. I don't think I need to touch that. The sea witch went on. And there's the page moving, okay. I like hesitate there for a second, hold on. The sea witch went on. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna cut that out. Move that over, and we'll hear that again.
There is more.
The sea witch went on. Okay, so that's pretty good. I want to move it a little bit closer.
There is more.
The sea witch went on. Okay, we need to delete that page flipping. Boop. Now we can move this in. Well, that's still actually going to be a huge, because there's still another huge line. Okay. But we're gonna mute that since it's coming up there in a second. Okay.
There is more.
The sea witch went on. Oh my god, I'm like already flipping the page before I'm even done talking. Why would I do that? Ugh. I do also want just a little tiny bit more space. Not a lot.
There is more.
The sea witch went on. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Unmute that and solo it. Okay. So then what? The next line goes until waves. Okay.
Once you have taken a human form, you will never be able to live with your family under the waves again. Once you have taken human form, you will never be able to live with your family under the waves again. Moreover, if the prince does not love you in return and agree to marry you, you will perish. The morning after he marries another, your heart will break and you will be nothing. Only the foam on the waves. There is more.
Oh, I did that again.
Once you have taken a human form, you will never be able to live with your family under the waves again. Moreover, if the prince does not love you in return and agree to marry you, you will perish. The morning after he marries another, your heart will break.
Hold on. The audio is skipping again.
To marry you, you will perish. The morning after he marries another, your heart will break and you will be nothing. Only the foam on the waves. Only the foam on the waves. But I must be paid.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna split it here. Because I like this take of most of it, but then I wanna take this last only the foam on the waves. So we're gonna put those together and then I'm gonna highlight both of them together and drag it over a little bit and then pull that down into my dialogue and we'll unsolo this. Okay. I'm tired. I still have more homework I need to do after this too. I figured streaming this final would be a little bit more fun than, well, it's not even a final, but my other homework I have to do tonight. I figured we would rather watch me edit audio than watch me do French homework, though I will say, for my French homework, I have to write like a little love story. And I said, okay, I can do that, but it's gonna be about ponies. So I am writing the love story between Rainbow Dash and Dapplejack as my French homework. And the professor just has to deal with that. I'm so pony obsessed right now, it's so bad. Okay. Let's listen to this again.
There is more.
The sea witch went on.
There is more.
Oh, I recorded that again. We can delete that. Move this over. Okay, now let's try.
There is more.
The sea witch went on.
Once you have taken a human form.
Hold on. Something sounds a little bit off there. I wonder if I cut this too soon. Oh, please let me. There we go. Okay. Let me try that.
The sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form.
Oh, it's down here, actually. Oh, right. Because I, like, flipped the page weird. That's what it was. So I think I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I'm going to cut it a little bit early, and then I'm just going to fade out the end. And just make that a little bit smoother. Okay.
More. The sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form.
Yes. What is this sound here?
Once you...
Okay. So I need to delete that. Actually, wait. I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna delete that little tiny section that does that, because I want that room tone in there still.
Dawn. Once you have taken a...
Move that back a little bit since I deleted some.
Sea witch went on. Once you have taken a...
Maybe not move it back. Hold on.
Sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form.
Okay.
Sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form.
Okay. I think that sounds better. Let's go back a little bit, listen a little bit further.
There is more. The sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form.
No, it needs a bit more of a gap there. Okay.
There is more. The sea witch went on. Once you have taken a human form, you will never be able to live with your family under the waves again. Moreover, if the prince...
This, I want to delete some of that too, make that a little bit close.
The waves again. Moreover.
Can I get rid of that little noise there too? That might help.
Waves again. Moreover.
There we go.
If the prince does not love you in return and agree to marry you, you will perish. The morning after he marries another,
Okay.
You will perish. The morning after he marries another, your heart will break, and you will...
Oh, why did I read it like that? There should definitely be a gap there. It should be the morning after he marries another, comma, your heart will break. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna curb my perfectionist tendencies. I'm gonna let it go. It's just gonna be a little bit weird. I'm not gonna re-record it. I'm not gonna take a different take of it. We're gonna breathe and we're gonna let it be off a little bit.
You will perish. The morning after he marries another, your heart will break and you will be nothing.
Right, and then this is where I brought in another one. So I am gonna delete it here so I don't have that breath, so it can flow a little bit smoother. I'm gonna need to delete a pretty significant chunk of that, because like that's a huge gap. Okay, it's already gonna be a huge gap, but we'll listen.
Nothing. Only the foam on the waves.
Okay, that sounds good from that little bit, but we'll go back further and find out.
Heart will break and you will be nothing. Only the foam on the waves.
So here, yeah, it was this one that I shouldn't have taken out. So we'll still take a pretty big chunk of that. Actually, I think I want to take more than that. But I need the extra on this side to make it flow better. Okay. Wah, wah.
Nothing. Only the foam on the waves.
That sounds pretty good, I think. We'll go back a bit.
After he marries another, your heart will break and you will be nothing. Only the foam on the waves.
There we go. And I even quite like that breath there, actually. Yay! Okay. We're making progress. Look at us go. I say we're making progress. Y'all aren't doing shit. Can you do my finals for me, chat? Okay. There's stuff happening on campus tonight.
Waves. The little mermaid turned pale.
Alright, I think that gap is fine too.
The foam on the waves. The little mermaid turned pale.
Yeah, that's good. And then we need to take the Little Mermaid's audio. So she has one line there. Yes, okay. Boom.
I will still do it. I will still do it.
Ooh, I can't decide which one of those I like. I'm gonna listen again.
I will still do it. I will still do it.
Okay, I think I prefer the first one. I'm quite happy with both of those takes, but I think I prefer the first one a little bit. It feels very Slay the Princess. Like, that's very much, that's what the damsel sounds like. Okay, we gotta unsolo it. And then we're gonna delete some of this out of here. Bo-bo-bo. Editing is a good time for little vocal stims, I find.
Turned pale. I will still do it.
That needs a way larger gap. Hold on.
The little mermaid turned pale. I will still do it.
Okay. We can work with that.
Only the foam on the waves. The little mermaid turned pale.
I want that further over.
Only the foam on the waves. The little mermaid turned pale. I will still do it.
Okay. And then we bring the little dialogue tag over.
Pale. I will still do it, she said.
Maybe bring it a little bit further over even.
Pale. I will still do it, she said.
There we go. And then we can remove some of this. All right. We're making progress. I'm about halfway through the full thing. Because it should in total be about 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not quite halfway through. I'd say I'm like 3/8 of the way through. Oh boy. This is due tomorrow. And so is the thing for French that I was just talking about. It's almost like, kids, we shouldn't put our work off until the last minute. Have we learned anything? Dear Princess Celestia, don't procrastinate.
Do it, she said.
Right, okay. So then the next line is the sea witch, but I must be paid. I'm almost done with the sea witch's dialogue though. So that's good. Okay, let's listen.
But I must be paid. But I must be paid. In return for giving you...
Okay, I prefer that first one by a lot. So we're gonna boop boop delete all of that middle part. Alright, and bring this over. And unsolo this. Okay. And I want to split that so I can move this over and fit it around this. So again, a little bit of a gap there, but not a crazy gap. Okay.
She said. But I must be paid.
Ooh, definitely need more of a gap than that.
She said. But I must be paid. Said.
Okay, I don't hate that. Let's go back a little bit further.
I will still do it, she said. But I must be paid, said the sea.
Yeah, there we go. That flows nice. We're gonna split that since I know that's gonna be a huge, like I don't need all of that.
But I must be paid, said the sea witch.
Yeah, that's good too. Okay. And then we get another line that's super, super important. Hopefully one of my takes is good.
In return for giving you legs, I must have your voice. In return for giving you legs, I must have your voice.
Ooh, okay. Let me listen to those again. Hold on.
In return for giving you legs, I must have your voice. In return for giving you legs, I must have your voice.
Okay, I think I like the first one more, but that's another case where I'd be happy with either of them. Okay. See, we're so close to finishing the Sea Witch's dialogue. Yay! Okay, so I want to bring it to about there, and then we can unsolo this line. Okay. So this is going to need to be moved way further down because this line is much longer than I gave it space to be. I'm also, we're approaching where I had the mermaid's audio at, so we're going to slide that down too. Okay.
But I must be paid, said the Sea Witch, in return.
All right, so there's like a little bit of a breath there. I want to try and remove that. See how close I can get it to the dialogue. Because I don't like the like gasping before I talk.
Said the Sea Witch, in return for giving.
No, that's a little bit too close to it actually. That makes it sound too short. There we go, we'll try that. Okay. Papa.
Paid, said the Sea Witch. In return
There we
for
go.
giving you legs, I must have your voice.
Alright, I'm pretty satisfied with that. And then we get some more narration. Take a second to stretch. Normally, I would be doing this like on my bed, but I'm at my desk now, which means I'm sitting in the chair. Weird. You know that picture where it's like the shrimp sitting in the computer chair? And it's like, this is what my back looks like. Hold on. This is really important. I do very much have to take a break to show you this. See, it's like, here, let me. Look at that. That's what I'm like right now. That's what my back is shaped like. Okay. Great. Glad we stopped to look at that. That was important. I'm never gonna get my homework done. I'm gonna be stuck at college forever because I won't finish my finals.
Have your voice. The little mermaid faltered.
That is close. I want to move this just a teeny bit. Boo-boo.
Legs, I must have your voice. The little mermaid faltered. Her voice.
Okay. Good. And then this, I want to delete just a little tiny bit of that as well. Because I don't hate that gap. I just need it to be a little bit tighter.
The little mermaid faltered. Her voice was the lovely.
Little tiny bit. Like barely any difference.
The little mermaid faltered. Her voice
there we
was
go.
The loveliest of all the sea creatures, and far more beautiful than that of any mortal.
Okay. And then I left a gap in the recording on purpose because the Little Mermaid has some more dialogue. Gotta drink more of my grape juice. All right. We'll solo this so I can hear. Oh, I'm getting pretty close to the end of the mermaid's dialogue as well, actually. Okay.
But how will I make the prince love me without my voice? But how will I make the prince love me without my
Oh,
voice?
it's cutting off again. Oh, my laptop. I don't think it's cutting off for you guys. I think you're hearing it straight, but I'm not.
But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
That pea popped.
But how will I make the prince love me without my voice? But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
Okay, I think that second one is it. I like the first one the most, but that pea popped and there really isn't anything you can do about it. Like, I can't undo that. I'll unsolo the track. I also just want to bring this a little bit closer. Okay. Bring this in, bring this out. I gotta get this shit done. I gotta lock in, gang. That's the second time I've said gang. Chat is way better. I don't like chat either, but I like it more than gang.
Beautiful than that of any mortal. But how will I... More beautiful than that of any mortal. But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
I think that was pretty good.
Sea creatures, and far more beautiful than that of any mortal. But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
Okay, that's good too. Again, I want to remove just a little bit of that.
Mortal. But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
Okay, I think I removed too much. Bubble.
Any mortal. But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
Perfect, and then we'll move it over a little bit.
And far more beautiful than that of any mortal. But how will I make the prince love me without my voice?
There we go, and then we'll move this back in.
Love me without my voice. The little mermaid faltered.
Oh, wait. Okay, I guess I recorded that line twice. I'm not gonna deal with trying to find a better take, though, because I already edited the other one in. Like, I'm happy with it. I don't think I need another take.
But how will I make the prince love me without my voice? The little mermaid faltered.
Oh, I recorded it several times. Ooh.
Her voice was the loveliest of all the sea creatures.
I literally just need the, like, she said part.
She cried.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Did I record that multiple times too, actually? No, okay, there's just a couple of dialogue tags coming up. Alright. Bo-bo-bo.
How will I make the prince love me without my voice? She cried.
Okay, that can be a little bit tighter.
How will I make the prince love me without my voice? She cried.
There we go. Maybe even a little bit tighter, actually. Hold on.
How will I make the prince love me without my voice? She cried.
There it is. That's it. That's it. I feel like you kind of just feel it when it's right. I don't know. All right, and then I have the last little bit of the witch's dialogue, actually. She only has one line left, I believe. Yeah. And it looks like I recorded it 3 times. You can even see in the waveform, like you can see how this section and then this section and this section are all a little bit similar, shape-wise. Okay. Because this is one where it's split in the middle. "You are very lovely," said the witch. Use that to charm him. And you can see that again here. Okay.
You are very lovely. Use that to charm him. You are very lovely. Use that to charm him. You are very lovely. Use that to charm him.
Oh, I like the mocking one. That's good. I'm happy with that. Okay. Delete all of that. and delete that last little tag there, and then I'm gonna move this down to the dialogue one, and then unsolo this, and then there's nothing else on this Sea Witch track, so I'm gonna delete it. It's gone. I should also save. I'm just realizing I haven't saved in a little while. Okay. We'll move this over. Okay. So then we'll take this. Ooh, okay. Isn't this so entertaining? Aren't you just so deeply entertained right now? All right.
Voice, she cried. You are very...
That needs to be way tighter.
My voice, she cried. You are very...
Whoa! Oh, I accidentally made a loop region. Hold on. Clear loop. Okay.
My voice, she cried. You are very lovely. You... How will I make the prince love me without my voice? She cried. You are very lovely.
I like the way... Not to sit here and be like, wow, I did so good on that, but I did. I like the way that that sounds a lot. Does anyone else have... You know when something just like tickles your brain in just the right way? That'll happen sometimes. And I just have to listen to like the same little, like the one line of a TV show. I'll sit there and like put it on, like put the same like 2 seconds on loop for a while and just listen to it over and over again because it just hits my brain right. Okay. We're gonna get rid of some of that dead air.
You are very lovely, said the witch.
Do I like, was that good?
You are very lovely, said the witch.
No, it needs to be a little bit closer, like that.
You are very lovely, said the witch.
There we go. That's timed really well. And I'll move this over, and this needs to be pushed back so I have enough space for this.
Said the witch. Use that to
Ooh,
charm
that's
him.
way too close.
Said the witch. Use that to charm him.
There we go. That sounded good. Again, get rid of some of that, and then we'll hear it.
He cried. You are very lovely, said the witch. Use that to charm him.
Perfect! The witch's dialogue is done. We got all the way through the witch. Okay. So now the mermaid has another line, and then it's almost entirely narration for a little while, which is good. I find that much easier to edit than the dialogue. And then the prince gets to speak a little bit soon. He hasn't done that yet. Technically, okay, there's one line early on that it's like one of the sailors on the ship. I did it at the same time as all of the prince's lines, and I just used the same voice. That's gonna need to be moved, but not that far. Okay. So then the mermaid's next line, she literally just says very well. That's surely not what this is.
But how will I...
Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right, okay.
Very well. Very well. Very well.
I like that last one. I like that she sounds a little bit nervous. Okay. Boop, wah. And then again, we need to get rid of that page turning noise. What if I just fell asleep right here? Okay, unsolo. Isn't that the guy from Star Wars? I make jokes for myself. I don't care if you think they're funny.
Which, use that to charm him. Very well.
Whoa, that's so much empty space. I didn't even notice it. Oh my god, that was like a full 2 seconds almost. Ugh.
Which, use that to charm him.
I'm gonna split this here.
That to charm him. Very well.
That's still a lot of space. I want about half of that, I think. Let's see.
Use that to charm him. Very well.
No, that's not enough.
Use that to charm him. Very well.
There it is. And then, oh, come on, let me drag you out. I'm begging. I don't know why that icon doesn't always show up when you hover right there. I haven't figured that out yet. Here I am making a little bit of a tutorial and using Audacity like I know how to do it. I do know how to do it. I've been using it for a long time. I just don't know everything. I'm so tired. Okay.
Very well, said the little mermaid.
There's like a little bit of that paper noise. Bo bo bo. Oh bo 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 bo.
Very well, said the little mermaid. Very well, said the little mermaid.
Okay. That, I'm thinking the paper noise was probably like my fan blowing it or something.
Very well, said the little mermaid. Very well, said the little mermaid.
Okay. I'm not completely happy with that, but I'm happy enough to move on. Why is my phone suddenly blowing up? All right. Okay, so now it's a long chunk of narration. Which I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna move them way down so that I don't have to deal with them while I'm listening to the narration. Okay. Little Mermaid gave rise to the sea witch, wait a minute. Okay. Lovely. And let's listen.
Said the little mermaid. So, the little mermaid gave her voice to the sea witch, and in return, the sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs. So the little mermaid gave her voice to the sea witch, and in return, the sea witch gave her the magic potion.
Oh, that one's the best take by far. I mean, I think this is the best take.
So the little mermaid...
Great, so we can remove all of that. Slide this way over. There's something really satisfying about removing a large chunk of something. Like when I take a whole takeout, I feel like I'm making real progress. Just because so many of the movements you do in it are just tiny little incremental whatever.
Said the little mermaid. So the little mermaid...
Hold on, let me listen to that again with the...
Very well, said the little mermaid. So the little mermaid gave her voice to the sea witch, and in return, the sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs.
Okay, that was good.
The mermaid waited until...
Get rid of a chunk of that there.
That would make her legs. The mermaid waited until night. Nope. The little mermaid waited until night.
Oh, wait, whoops. All right.
would make her legs. The little mermaid waited until night.
No, I forgot the word little the first time, so then I emphasized it too much the second time. And the worst part of that is, I remember as I was recording that second take, I remembered doing that and like noticed that I did it and then decided not to do another take anyway.
The witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs. The little mermaid waited until night and...
Oh, I messed up that line again. Okay.
The little mermaid waited until night and sadly bid farewell to her.
Oh wait, I remember doing this. I remember now that there was like another...
The little mermaid waited until night and sadly bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters.
Maybe this is the one I liked. Hold on.
The little mermaid waited until night and sadly bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I keep accidentally hitting delete twice in a row so that I don't have anything selected. That's what's happening there.
And in return, the sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs.
I can already tell that's going to be way too huge of a gap. Hold on.
And the sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs. The little mermaid waited until night.
Okay,
and
that was pretty
sadly
good.
Bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters. The little mermaid waited until night and sadly bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters.
I think I like the one that I have. Let me listen to it again.
The little mermaid waited until night and sadly bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters.
No, actually, I do think I prefer the other one. I don't like how I said the word sleeping. Okay, I've never once thought that I have a lisp or anything, but for some reason, I've been noticing it every time I say S lately, that it feels like it sounds wrong. I don't think I actually have any kind of lisp. I think I'm just being hard on myself, but who knows?
That would make her legs. The little mermaid waited until...
That might be too much of a gap. Hold on.
The sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs. The little mermaid waited...
Okay.
And in return, the sea witch gave her the magic potion that would make her legs. The little mermaid waited...
Let's see. So many little tiny edits.
Potion that would make her legs. The little mermaid waited
That was
until
it.
night and sadly bid farewell to her sleeping father, grandmother, and sisters. Then she swam to the beach near the prince's palace and swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword had...
Yeah, there we go. That was it. Okay. Then...
and swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword had pet...
Yeah. She felt as if a sword had pet. Okay, get rid of all of that. Remember earlier when I said that I don't do the deleting it that way when it's a whole section of audio? Because I just did that.
Swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword...
Okay. That was pretty good. I just want a little less air.
Potion. She felt as if...
That's still too much. That I might have just taken too much out. Hold on.
and swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword had...
That might not be bad. I'm gonna go back a little bit further and see.
She swam to the beach near the prince's palace and swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword had...
Maybe just a tiny tad bit more.
and swallowed the sea witch's potion. She felt as if a sword had been passed through her, and she fainted. When she awoke, it...
Yeah, alright, that was pretty good. I want to get rid of some of that. Oh, I'm getting so sleepy.
Passed through her, and she fainted. When she awoke, it was morning, and to her surprise...
I think that was pretty good. That gap, hold on.
Passed through her, and she fainted. When she awoke, it
Yo, there we go. That was the right timing. I feel like specifically when there's too much of a gap is when, like, you can tell. Like, it feels like there is a right answer to how much of a gap to leave, and you just kind of know when you've hit it. I'm so close. I'm probably about halfway through the whole thing. It's already 8:30.
She felt as if a sword had been passed through her, and she fainted. When she awoke, it was morning, and to her surprise, the prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down and saw that she had...
I want to get rid of... There's some mouth sound things there.
To her surprise, the prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down.
That's still too much space, though. I keep saying the same things, like, that's too much space, that needs to be tighter, and I'm, like, trying to find different ways to word the same things over and over again.
Standing over her. The little mermaid looked...
Okay.
Surprised, the prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down.
That's still too much.
The prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down.
That might even still be too much. Okay, I want to take less than that, though. There we go.
Prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down. Prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked...
No, I think it was better before.
Prince was standing over her. The little mermaid looked down.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Over her. The little mermaid looked down and saw that she had 2 pretty legs and dainty feet.
Alright. We can remove all of this. Okay, the prince has some more dialogue. Like I said, I think it's easier to edit the parts that aren't dialogue. Well, I guess it makes sense because I'm literally only timing the one recording. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna take both of these and I'm gonna move them a little bit closer. And I wanna unmute the prince. So his next line is very short. He says, "Who are you?" Now it looks like I recorded it twice.
You poor creature. You poor creature.
Did I not record that line?
You poor creature.
Fuck. Alright. Who are you? Who are you? Where did that even record? Wait, what? Oh, it went to the end of... Okay. Who are you? Yeah, that's not great, but it'll do. I can't believe I forgot a line. I did that earlier. I forgot to record one of the mermaid's lines. But it didn't have much bearing on anything, so I kind of just deleted it out. Like, I just took out that whole, like the dialogue tag and everything. I can unsolo that. Is it here? Is this where I'm trying to put it? Okay. Boop.
Pretty legs and dainty feet. Who are you?
Oh god, you can hear that sound in there so bad.
2 pretty legs and dainty feet. Who are you?
Ah well. Such is life.
2 pretty legs and dainty feet. Who are you? The prince asked. But the little mermaid could not answer. She was so lovely.
Okay. So this, again, I want to take like a large section of that out because that needs to be one sentence.
Who are you? The prince asked. But the little mermaid could not answer.
Yeah, that's good. I also want, because this is lower quality, I want to remove as much of the dead space as I can. And then I need that room tone. Come on, let me drag this out, please. We'll overlap. Oh, we won't overlap that.
Feet. Who are you? The prince asked. But
Okay, I can live with that. Little Mermaid could not answer. Okay.
could not answer. She was so lovely, and her blue eyes looked so sad that the prince took pity on her and led her to his palace.
I know I recorded that twice.
The prince asked, but the little mermaid could not answer. She was so lovely, and her blue eyes looked so sad.
Really?
She was so lovely, and her blue eyes looked so sad that the prince took pity on her and led her to his palace.
Okay. That's the one. Oh wow, that's like a whole 20 seconds that I just deleted out of there. See, it's satisfying to delete a large chunk. It feels good. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Who are you? She was so lovely, and
Whoa.
her blue eyes...
Wait.
The prince asked, but the little mermaid could not answer.
Okay, I need that part still. That's important. There we go. Now we can bring this closer.
The little mermaid could not answer. She was so lovely.
Alright, that's pretty close.
But the little mermaid could not answer. She was so lovely, and her blue eyes looked so sad that the prince took pity on her and led her to his palace.
Alright.
As the sea witch had promised,
Get a whole section of that air out.
and led her to his palace.
Boom. So about here is where the dialogue the narration needs to start. So I want to delete about that much of it, I believe.
Palace. As the sea witch had
That's pretty close. A little bit more.
led her to his palace. As the sea witch had
Yeah.
promised, every step the little mermaid took was as painful as stepping on sharp knives. But she bore it bravely. As stepping on sharp knives. But she bore it bravely. But she bore it bravely.
No, I think I prefer the first one there. Okay. I finally feel like I'm making actual progress. Like for a while I didn't feel like it was doing anything.
Stepping on sharp knives. But she bore it bravely.
That is still too big. I might have just taken way too much out. We'll see.
Sharp knives. But she bore it bravely.
Oh no, actually I could take a little more out.
Stepping on sharp knives. But she bore it bravely.
That time I took too much. Like that much, I think? It's just a guessing game.
As stepping on sharp knives. But she bore it bravely.
Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna go back and listen a little bit further.
Every step the little mermaid took was as painful as stepping on sharp knives, but she bore it bravely.
There we go. Okay. Then we get another paragraph of narration, and then is when the prince like spends like half of the story talking. That's a way exaggeration. He does not talk that much, but I'm getting close. The end is in sight, guys. How long have I been streaming? Wait, how long has this been? Only an hour and a half. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay.
Bore it bravely. The prince ordered his servants to dress her in fine robe.
There's like a breath thing in here that I want to try and get rid of. Hold on.
Bravely. The prince ordered his servants
That's
to
not
dress
bad,
her
actually.
in fine robes. When this was done, the little mermaid was the...
That we can take a small bit out, not too much.
her in fine robes. When this was done,
There
the
we
little
go.
mermaid was the most beautiful young woman.
Actually, maybe I want to take just a tiny bit more.
To dress her in fine robes. When this was done,
Yeah, that's
the
better.
little mermaid was the most beautiful young woman in the palace. Yet she still could not.
This can. Ooh, wait. I see a breath there. Let's do that if we're gonna remove some.
Beautiful young woman in the palace. Yet she still could not utter a word. Only
Okay, let's see.
the little mermaid was the most beautiful young woman in the palace. Yet she still could not utter
That might be too much. Hold on.
beautiful young woman in the palace. Yet she still could not
Yeah,
utter
that's
a
it.
word. Only stare at the prince with her
That would be so creepy. Imagine her just staring at you.
could not utter a word, only stare at the prince with her sad blue eyes.
All right. Now we get to some prince dialogue. Which this is what I had actually recorded before, so I don't have to do more of that. That's good. Okay, we'll just listen for a bit.
You poor creature. You poor creature. If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I
You
almost
remind me of
drowned.
a girl I once knew. Sorry, I can't be singing.
You poor creature.
Okay, we listened to the poor creatures. We don't need that.
You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but
Ooh, I think this second one is the one I prefer. Hold on.
if only you could speak to me.
Okay, so I recorded this in several sections. So let's pick a poor creature.
You poor creature. You poor creature. If only you could speak
Okay,
to
I only
me.
have two of them. The first one is a little bit giving Ash Ketchum.
You poor creature. You poor creature.
I think I'm gonna go with the first one. Honestly, this prince is kind of an asshole. Like, why is he talking to her like a wounded animal? Like, she's mute, not an idiot. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Where am I? Wait, actually, where am I in my audio? Oh, this break. Okay. Which means I should probably move these back a little bit. Ah. I'm getting so close. I'm so close, you guys. At least I'm close to finishing this part of the editing. I still have more to do because I still have to put in all of the sounds. Like I need ocean sounds are a big one. There's like a couple crowd kind of sounds I'm gonna need, but I'll be honest, that's not happening tonight. This may be due tomorrow, but it's not gonna be ready tomorrow. Whoops. Such is life. Okay. Wait, where's my... I moved that way too far. Hold on.
The little mermaid took was as painful as stepping on sharp knives, but she bore it bravely. You poor creature.
Oh, wait. That's wrong. Hold on. Actually, what happened here?
The prince said.
Aha! That's the one we want. I just didn't split it. Okay. Bum, bum, bum.
Her sad blue eyes. You poor creature.
Okay, I think that timing is pretty good.
A word, only stare at the prince with her sad blue eyes. You poor creature.
Yes, and then I'll bring this way over.
Sad blue eyes. You poor creature, the prince said.
That even maybe a little bit more.
Sad blue eyes. You poor creature, the prince said.
Yeah. Split that. Can you tell? I feel like you can tell how sleepy I'm getting. It's bedtime. It's not bedtime, it's 9 p.m. I have 4 classes tomorrow, you guys. 4 classes, and they're all fun. I like all my classes, but that's still a lot to do in a day. Okay.
You poor creature, the prince said.
Okay. So now I need more. If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again, so will you stay with me instead? And then we get some more narration. But that's the line that I recorded really fucking weirdly. Like, I recorded it in sections instead of doing the whole line at once, and I don't know why I did that. That's the recurring theme tonight, is I keep talking about things and being like, I don't know why I did it that way. Why did I do that?
If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned.
I don't like that.
If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned.
That one's better. We're gonna remove this part. I should have started it closer.
If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again. So will you stay with me instead? If only you could speak to me. If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again. So will you stay with me instead?
I think I prefer the first one on that.
Who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again. So will you stay with me instead?
Yeah, I think that one's better. Okay. Is this another take, though? Hold on.
If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again. So, will you stay with me instead?
Nah. And then I think this is a new line.
I shall never see her again.
Oh, wait, that's not a new line.
I shall never see her again.
Oh, wait, yes, it is. He says that twice. He says that twice, right? Let me look at my... Hold on. Yeah. He says that again later. He's real hung up on this girl. It's almost like that's the plot of the story or something. Okay. So... I'm going to delete those. This is the one I want to take. We'll unsolo that track. Move this over again. My brain is not working.
Blue eyes. You poor creature, the prince said.
Okay. So we need to stop it here. All right.
You poor creature, the prince said. If only...
That needs to be way tighter.
You poor creature, the prince said. If only you could speak to me.
And then we'll get rid of some of that dead air as well.
If only you could speak to me. You remind me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned.
And then we'll get rid of some of this.
Me of a girl I met once who saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever...
Okay, so there should be a bit of a pause there, but maybe not quite that much.
Saved my life when I almost drowned. She is the only woman I can ever love, but I shall never see her again. So will you stay with me instead?
I kind of don't like the way that you has like a little bit of it. Like listen to that again.
So will you stay with me instead?
There's like a little bit of like a throaty noise, like it's a little bit gross, but how long is the full thing? Oh, hey, we're under 15 minutes. That's good. We're under 15. Good, 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 good. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I think part of why I'm having so much trouble focusing right now is because I really have to go to the bathroom. We're gonna put the coming soon screen back on and I'm gonna run to the bathroom and be right back. So I'll see you all in a little bit. We're back. Hello, thank you for waiting. I appreciate your patience. Okay, where am I? Right, I was checking how long that is. But I'm still editing over here. Okay.
See her again. So will you stay with me instead? When she heard that, the little...
Okay, there's like some weird breathing noises. I was way too close to the mic.
So will you stay with me instead? When she heard that, the little mermaid...
That actually needs more space. Do you hear the cat? He's on a bit of a rampage right now. He does that sometimes. Okay.
So will you stay with me instead? When she heard that, the little mermaid's heart
that was
almost
good.
broke. She wished she could tell the prince that it was she who had saved his life. But she could not say a word.
Did I record that twice? I didn't like that line reading.
The prince made the little mermaid...
No, I didn't.
The little mermaid's heart almost broke. She wished she could tell the prince that it was she who had saved his life. But she could not say a word.
There we go. That timing is good. Okay. And we'll keep going. Some more narration.
The prince made the little mermaid...
Okay. Let's get some of that air out.
She could not say a word. The prince made the...
Maybe a little bit more.
Could not say a word. The prince made the
There
little
it
mermaid
is.
his closest companion. She did all she could to please him, but he spoke only of the one who had saved him.
All right. Okay, now the prince has some dialogue. I'm gonna put a split in here just to help me remember where that is. Hello, kitty! Kitty on the desk! Red alert, red alert, kitty on the desk! It's been so long since I've gotten to say that. That's a good feeling. And he's such a good boy. He's a much better boy than this fuck-ass prince. Okay.
I shall never see her again. I shall never see her again.
That first one is better. Bo bo bo. Bo 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 bo. My mom is really obsessed with BTS. And she has her like phone sound set to this clip of, I don't even know which one it is, but one of the BTS's going like bo bo beep bo 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 bo. And my brain does that all the time. One of the BTS's. I bet I could name all 7 of them if I tried. I'm so not gonna try though. That's not what's happening right now.
All she could to please him, but he spoke only of the one who had saved him. I shall never see her again, he told the little mermaid.
Oh, that was like perfect timing. Wait, let me listen to that again.
Did all she could to please him, but he spoke only of the one who had saved him. I shall never see her again, he told the little mermaid.
That was perfect. Oh my god, look at me go. Okay. But then we get more of that line, so we'll solo out the prince again.
But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. But I'm glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend.
Okay, the third one is too loud. I like it the most. What's the word? The inflection, the emotion in it, I like the most. But it peaks the mic a little bit, and I don't like that. I think it's gonna be this second one here, is what I'm gonna use.
But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend.
Yeah, I like that. Yep. Split. Okay. I'm getting so close. We might actually finish this. I mean, again, I'm still not planning to finish the whole thing tonight. At this point, that's not happening because I also have a crazy amount of French homework I have to do, which is more annoying, by the way. This is at least my own fault because I've put it off. Like, I've had weeks to do this and I just kind of haven't. And that's 100% on me. But the French homework I just got today and it's due tomorrow. That I didn't know was gonna happen. If I had known that, I would not have put this off. Okay.
Again, he told the little mermaid. But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend.
Wait, is this timing good too?
He told the little mermaid. But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend.
I'm not sure if I'm getting better at placing them in or if I'm getting less picky because I'm tired.
Sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid.
This is like too loud almost. Wait.
But I am glad that you at least have been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid.
Yeah, this is okay. We're gonna go to effect. And I'm gonna amplify it by like -0.5 just to make it a little tiny bit quieter. Yeah, like it's not gonna do a lot to it, but I think it'll flow better.
My beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid.
Yeah. I mean, this needs to be more of a gap too, will also help. But I think the volume fits better.
My beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid danced for him, though it hurt her terribly. She danced so gracefully the prince was enchanted and said she must stay with him always. Then the little mermaid danced for him.
Okay, that I think is a much better start. We're gonna I cannot be doing impressions of random BTS members. Get Army on my ass.
Friend. Then the little mermaid.
If there's one group I don't want to piss off, it's Army. Really any Army, but that one in particular.
Sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid danced.
A little bit more space.
Sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid danced.
Okay. I can hear the breath in there, and I think that's part of what's making it sound wrong.
Been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid danced.
Maybe just a tiny bit. Like, yeah, make those line up there.
Been sent to me, my beautiful silent friend. Then the little mermaid
that's
danced
it.
for him, though it hurt her terribly. She danced so gracefully the prince was enchanted.
I want to get rid of a little bit here too, but not much. That gap isn't bad.
Though it hurt her terribly. She danced. Though it hurt her terribly. She danced so.
Maybe I want to get rid of more than I thought.
Though it hurt her terribly. She danced.
Okay, I think that'll be the last one.
Though it hurt her terribly. She danced so gracefully.
Hold on.
Though it hurt her terribly. She danced.
Okay, just a little tiny bit more. Oh, bo.
Though it hurt her terribly. She danced so
that's
gracefully the prince was enchanted and said she must stay with him always.
Okay, then we get the paper rustling. All right. Lovely, remove that out of there. Okay. Stay with them always. Okay. Then it goes into more narration, and then the prince talks some more. I'm getting so sleepy. I can do this! Push through, Fizzy!
Stay with him always. One day,
the king announced that the prince must marry the daughter of the neighboring king.
I'm pretty happy with that timing as well.
Was enchanted and said she must stay with him always. One day, the king announced that the prince must marry the daughter of the neighboring king.
I think I recorded that twice, actually.
One day, the king announced that the prince must marry the daughter of the neighboring king.
No, the first one's better. We'll delete that. Boop, split that, delete it. Okay. And then I'm certainly gonna want less space here. I can already tell that's way too much.
He announced that the prince must marry the daughter of the neighboring king. The prince told the little mermaid that he would never do so. He said,
Oh, that he said needs to have dialogue before it.
must marry the daughter of the neighboring king. The prince...
Yeah, see, that's still a little bit too much. I say a little bit too much and then I delete like half of it. But I've found that less space is better.
King. The prince told the little...
Yeah, see, like this is still too much space. By quite a bit.
Prince must marry the daughter of the neighboring king. The prince told the little mermaid that...
See, now I deleted too much though. Oh, wah wah wah.
Neighboring king. The prince told the little mermaid...
That seems better. Let me go back a bit.
Must marry the daughter of the neighboring king. The prince told the little...
Yeah. Okay, great. And then the prince has some more dialogue. I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me. Isn't that sweet? If only he knew who she was.
I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me. I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me. I would rather marry you.
Okay. So that peaked the microphone again. I must have gotten like way closer to the microphone when I was recording the prince's lines than I did anywhere else, because he's a little bit louder than everything else and he peaks the microphone a lot more. And that shouldn't be the case because it's lower in my register than anything else, so it should be a little bit quieter. We're gonna amplify it by -1.
That he would never do so.
Go! I didn't even notice that. Oh my god.
That he would never do so. I cannot marry that. The prince told the little mermaid that he would never do so. I cannot marry that princess.
A little bit over.
The prince told the little mermaid that he would never do so. I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me.
Yeah, that's it. I think I am just getting less picky as I get more tired.
I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me, he said.
I actually want to, I think, make that a little bit quieter still. We'll do another 0.5.
I cannot marry that princess when I love only the girl who saved me, he said.
Yeah, that's it, that's it. Okay. Then the next line.
I would rather marry you than anyone but her.
Oof.
I would rather marry you than anyone but her. I would rather marry you than anyone but her. I would rather marry you than anyone but her.
Yeah, okay, it's gonna be the first one there, I think. So we'll get rid of a chunk of that. Ha ha ha. That's so horrible. He He pulled a, I wish I had a girlfriend like you. I hate this guy. Like, I know I'm just a lesbian, but I hate this guy.
Girl who saved me, he said. I would rather marry you than...
Okay, right. This needs to be quieter, though, because I did just do that. So we'll do, like, a negative... Oh, well, I guess the other one I did by 1.5. I just did it in 2 chunks. There we go. Let's try that.
The girl who saved me, he said. I would rather marry you than anyone but her.
That's perfect. I do want to move this. Oh, no. Hold on. It needs to be like that. There we go. Okay.
Only the girl who saved me, he said. I would rather marry you than anyone but her.
Yeah, that's it. We are so close. Look at how close we are to the end. That's like nothing. That's so much still. There's like 5 minutes of it left. So it'll only be another hour. At least the kitty's in my lap. That makes everything better. Okay.
You than anyone but her. Then he kissed the little mermaid.
That's gotta be way, way farther that way.
You than anyone but her. Then he kissed
Yeah,
the little
that's
mermaid
it.
on the cheek.
Maybe even a little bit more like that.
You than anyone but her. Then he kissed the little mermaid on the cheek.
Oof. This asshole!
You than anyone but her. Then he kissed the little mermaid on the cheek.
Alright. We're gonna delete a ton of this dead air here.
The little mermaid on the cheek. The next day, the king prepared...
Okay, that can be closer. Is that the K? Yeah, okay. That needs to be there then. Because otherwise it would be that he kissed her on the chi, and that doesn't mean anything.
on the cheek. The next day, the king prepared a ship to travel...
Wait.
On the cheek. The next day, the king prepared...
That needs a little bit more space between it.
The cheek. The next day, the
That's
king
it.
prepared a ship to travel to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid...
I want to listen back a little bit further though.
He kissed the little mermaid on the cheek. The next day, the king
Yeah,
prepared a ship
okay,
to
I'm happy
travel
with
to
that.
the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the
I deleted too much out of there.
nearby kingdom. The little mermaid
A little bit more.
kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the prince
I'm not sure yet.
to travel to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid
Okay. Okay. I don't want to take out any more than that though.
traveled to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey.
There's like a sound in the background there. Hold on.
The little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey.
It's right here.
Accompanied the prince on the journey.
I don't know what that is. Oh well. Did I do that line again actually? Hold on.
The next day, the king prepared a ship. The next day, the king prepared a ship to travel But to she the is the nearby one who
who
kingdom.
saved my...
Oh, it's the... Hello, Prince. Okay. I do actually, though, hold on.
Mermaid on the cheek.
Okay. We're actually gonna skip ahead and use this
The next
day. Yeah.
The king
Yeah, that one's better. Womp womp wah.
mermaid on the cheek. The next day,
Just a little bit out of there. For the most part, I actually like that amount of space. I keep saying that and then listening to it again and thinking, actually, I want less space.
Then he kissed the little mermaid on the cheek. The next day, the king
Okay,
prepared
that's
a ship
good.
to travel to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey.
This, we can definitely get rid of some of that space.
By kingdom, the little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey.
Yeah, that sounds good. We're gonna go back here a bit.
Little mermaid on the cheek. The next day, the king prepared a ship to travel to the nearby kingdom. The little mermaid accompanied the prince on the journey.
Yes. We're making progress. All right. And then we'll make this a little bit closer, get rid of some of that dead air.
Accompanied the prince on the journey. When the ship reached the shore, the neighboring king and the princess were there to greet them. When the prince saw the princess, he cried.
Okay.
Accompanied the prince on the journey. When the ship reached
Just a little bit less there. I feel like I'm just saying
Prince
the
on the
same
journey.
things.
when the ship
Sorry, I talked over it.
accompanied the prince on the journey. When the ship reached the shore,
That's good.
the neighboring king and the princess were there to greet them. When the
Get rid of those mouth sounds.
greet them. When the prince saw the princess, he cried.
Right, I need the part where he cries. So we have to get that from up here. Oh, we're so close. The prince only has a couple lines left. We're almost done with the prince's dialogue. We'll solo that out.
But she is the one who saved my life. All my wishes have come true. But she is the one who saved my life. All my wishes have come true.
That second one is better. Okay. We'll move it down here, unsolo. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Don't want to make that much louder. Okay. Haha. These sliders here like make it louder or quieter. That's what the top one does. You can see the minus and the plus. And then this one changes like which ear it's in because it's a stereo track. So it's actually like two separate things in each ear and you can like set it to be entirely on the left or entirely on the right. Oh, and the kitty's eating. I'm sure that sounds great on the microphone.
Princess were there to greet them. When the prince saw the princess, he cried. But she is...
Hold on. That, I actually don't like that gap anymore.
Princess were there to greet them. When the prince saw the princess, he cried. But
Move that over.
when the prince saw the princess, he cried. But she is the one who saved my life. All my wishes have come true. As soon as he was on land,
Nope. Delete that, and then this needs to be a little bit closer in. I also want to split that. Okay.
all my wishes have come true. As soon as he was on all my wishes have come true. As soon as he was on land,
Why was I so close to the microphone when I recorded the prince? Okay, so I just amplified it by the same, like made it quieter. The word is amplify, but amplifying it negatively, so it's making it quieter and not louder. Oh. Minty, minty, minty. I know. Her voice isn't that nasally. That's not a minty voice.
cried. But she is the one who saved my life. All my wishes have come true. As soon as he was on land, he ran.
A little bit more space.
Life, all my wishes have come true. As soon as he was on
There we
land,
go.
he ran to the princess, leaving the little mermaid standing alone.
Okay. This is actually weirdly close to being in the right spot. We are so close. Final stretch. Final stretch. We can do it. Okay. I'm on like the last page. Last 2 pages. Whoa! Did Audacity just crash? Wait, what? Why did it disappear from my stream? Hello? Stream? There we are! What on earth just happened? That was weird. Huh. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Wishes have come true. As soon as he was on land, he ran to the princess, leaving the little mermaid standing alone. The princess.
Alright, we'll get rid of some. Get rid of some of this space. Ooh. My laptop is overheating as part of what's happening.
Princess, leaving the little mermaid standing alone. The
Wait, did it?
little mermaid standing alone. The princess was very beautiful,
Okay.
and her eyes were kind and gentle. The little mermaid stared at her.
Okay. And then I can already see in the waveform that that's the paper flipping again, so I'm just going to take that out right away.
The little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and she seems good. The little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and
Little bit more there.
the little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and she seems good
Okay, I don't mind that.
and gentle. The little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and she seems good.
Why don't I solo this track and just listen?
She is lovely, and she seems good. She is lovely, and she seems good.
I think I prefer the first one.
She is lovely, and she seems good.
If it would play
She
without...
is lovely, and she seems good.
There we go. Yeah. We'll go with that one. Unsolo this.
Were kind and gentle. The little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and she seems...
Boop, boop.
Eyes were kind and gentle. The little mermaid stared at her. She is lovely, and she seems good. The princess was very beautiful.
Oh.
and her- The little mermaid stared.
I keep not checking if I have multiple takes of things. Oh well.
She seems good, the little mermaid thought.
Okay.
She is lovely, and she seems good, the little mermaid thought.
I can live with that one. I'm so close to reaching the end of the Little Mermaid's dialogue as well, and that's a good thing. Okay, what is the next line? Right. Okay, we'll solo this out and listen.
The prince loves her. For how can he know that it was I who saved his life and not she? So now I must prepare to die.
This bitch.
The prince loves her. For how can he know that it was I who saved his life and not she? So now I must prepare to die.
Yeah, that's the one. That's dramatic as hell. I love this specific version of the story. I think because it was the one that, like, my parents read to me when I was little, which is a little bit insane. I mean, I was, like, 3 listening to this shit. Like... I love grimdark fairy tales. I fear I was destined to be into things like Danganronpa when this is what I grew up on. So I said earlier that I'm really, really obsessed with My Little Pony again, which is bad. I've been there before and I get so obsessive about it. It's bad. But like specifically, I'm really into goring the ponies. Like give me, not even cupcakes. Cupcakes is too, but like pony cannibalism? Hello? I sent the link to this stream to the rest of the class that I'm making this for, and I keep saying shit like I love My Little Pony cannibalism, and then being like, what if my professor is watching this right now? Okay. If she is, hi!
Mermaid thought. The prince loves her.
Alright. Let's see.
And she seems good, the little mermaid thought. The prince loves her.
Yeah, that's good.
But how can he know that it was I?
And then we'll get rid of quite a bit of that space, actually.
Thought. The prince loves her. For how can he know that it
Yeah,
was I who
that's good.
saved his life and not she? So now I must prepare to die.
See, I've been cutting out a lot of those breaths, but this one is necessary. Like, that was a very purposeful breath. Which doesn't really make sense, because these are her thoughts. She's not saying that out loud, and obviously her inner voice does not need to breathe, but, like, it's the dramatic effect of, like, taking a second and composing yourself before saying the heavy, scary thing. Okay.
So now I must prepare to die. The wedding of the prince.
That's not enough of a gap. This needs to be further. Also, hello, dialogue pieces that shouldn't be this close. See, I'm getting close enough to the end that I'm running out of places to put the extra dialogue. That's kind of nice. That's a good feeling. We've got like 4 minutes of it left. Not even. Not even. We can do this. We can do this. Push through.
So now I must prepare to die. The wedding of the prince and
That's
the
good.
princess was celebrated that very night. The prince asked the little mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding.
This asshole!
He said. So the little mermaid held up the bride's veil and smiled, even though
Oh,
her
wait.
heart was
I
broken.
got way off track. This should be. Because now the prince needs to say something. And that's his last line.
So you must share in my happiness. You must share in my happiness. You must share in my happiness.
That last one is bad. We're gonna just cut that off. It's gotta be one of the first two.
You must share in my happiness. You must share in my happiness.
I think it's the first one. I think it's a little bit more earnest. Like, I don't think this asshole. Ooh, we can delete the prince track. Yay. But I don't think he realizes that she's sad. I think he fully doesn't know. And he's like, yeah, you're happy for me, right? And she's like, yeah, I am. But less whiny, because she's a princess. You want whining? This is whining. See, I told you I'm pony obsessed. Ugh.
The prince asked the little mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding.
Okay, this needs to be way further ahead. I also think I'm gonna do the same quieting effect I did. Okay.
The prince asked the little mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding. You must share in my happiness.
Bring that a little bit closer. Not by much, but just a little bit.
The prince asked the little mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding. You must share in my happiness.
Now I moved it a little bit too close. There we go.
Stand close to him during the wedding. You must share
There
in
it
my
is.
happiness.
I still think that's too close.
Mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding. You must share in my happiness.
All right. Then we bring this back over.
During the wedding. You must share in my happiness, he said.
Make that a little bit further.
During the wedding. You must share in my happiness, he said.
Okay, that's good. And then again, I'm gonna move this back a little ways. Okay, and then I think I recorded the next line twice. So I'm gonna listen to that.
So the little mermaid held up the bride's veil and smiled, even though her heart was broken. The wedding of the prince and the princess was celebrated that very night.
Oh,
The
that goes
prince
way
asked
back.
the little
Okay.
mermaid to stand close to him during the wedding.
Okay. We're gonna delete all of this because I already edited that section in. And I just want to hear the takes of the mermaid holding the veil.
So the little mermaid held up the bride's veil and smiled, even though her heart was broken. So the little mermaid held up the bride's veil and smiled, even though her heart was broken.
Yeah, the first one is better. Which is funny because I remember specifically recording the second take because I thought the first one was bad when I was doing it, but I didn't hear it back. Okay.
You must share in my happiness, he said. So the
We can get rid of some of that dead air. Okay.
You must share in my happiness, he said. So the little mermaid held up the bride's veil and smiled, even though her heart was broken.
A little bit more there.
He said. So the little mermaid held up
There
the
we go.
bride's veil
That was
and
good.
smiled, even though her heart was broken.
Okay, then she has some more dialogue.
Tomorrow I must die. Tomorrow I must die.
No, I like the first one. She should sound weak. Ah. Okay.
Even though her heart was broken. Tomorrow I must die.
Yeah, she sounds so pathetic. I love it.
Tomorrow I must die, she thought.
Boo boo.
Tomorrow I must die, she thought.
All right, and then we'll solo this again so I can hear the next line that I have 2 recordings of, I believe. And we're so close. She only has 2 more lines left. Okay, we got this.
I will never see my dear sisters or my father or grandmother again. I will never see my dear sisters or my father or grandmother again.
It's gotta be that second one. She's gotta have a really shaky voice because she thinks she's about to fucking die. I don't even know what noises I'm making. Like, those aren't stems I've ever done before.
She thought, I will never see my dear sister.
That's gotta be over a bit more.
She thought, I will never see my dear sisters or my father or grandmother. She thought, I will never see my dear sister.
Maybe even a little bit more.
She thought, I will never see my
Yeah,
dear
that's it.
sisters or my father or grandmother again.
Let's listen one more time.
Tear. She thought, I will never see my dear sisters
Yeah.
or my father or grandmother again.
Yes. Okay. And then we get some more narration, which means this is gonna have to be moved way, way, way down. Like, you're all the way back here. Also, look at this. We've reached under 14 minutes. I fully expected the final product to be like 20 minutes long, so I'm very happy with that. Okay.
Or grandmother again. And a tear rolled down her cheek.
Move that a little bit closer.
Or grandmother again. And a tear rolled.
Not that close, though. That's like overlapping.
Or grandmother again. And a tear rolled down her.
I can't tell because it keeps cutting out.
Sisters or my father or grandmother again. And a tear rolled down her. Sisters or my father or grandmother again. And a tear rolled down
There
her
it
cheek.
is.
Late that night, the prince and his bride went to bed on the ship that was to carry
Was
them
that
back
a good
to the
space?
prince's
Hold on.
kingdom. And a tear rolled down her cheek. Late
No,
that night,
that's too much space. Whoop-oo.
and a tear rolled down her cheek. Late that night, the prince
Yeah,
and his
that's
bride
better.
went to bed on the ship that was to carry them back to the prince's kingdom.
I found that line so hard to say. There is not a good place to put a breath in that line.
Late that night, the prince and his bride went to bed on the ship that was to carry them back to the prince's kingdom. Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea. Late that night, the prince and his bride went to bed on the ship that was to carry them back to the prince's kingdom. Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on.
Yeah, okay, that second one is better. Mm.
Tear rolled down her cheek.
Okay, we want to get rid of a good chunk of this.
Down her cheek. Late that night. And a tear rolled down her cheek. Late that night,
Yeah, that was
the prince
good.
and his bride went to bed on the ship that was to carry them back to the prince's kingdom. Meanwhile,
And we'll remove plenty of that.
carry them back to the prince's kingdom. Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea.
Okay. I do want to hear, I have another take of that last bit.
Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea.
Which one do I like?
Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea.
Yeah, I think I prefer that one. Okay. What are all of these, like, little... Okay.
Stood on the deck and gazed at the sea. Then she saw her sisters swimming toward her. Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off. Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off.
Yeah, that second one is way better.
The little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea. Then she saw her sisters swimming toward her. Their beautiful long hair.
Okay. So let me see some of the timing in here. Like, I think...
Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea. Then she saw her sister.
Okay, first of all, there's like a weird little popping noise in there, and I want to get rid of that. Second of all, there needs to be a little bit more distance there. Come on.
Meanwhile, the little mermaid stood on the deck and gazed at the sea. Then she saw her sisters swimming toward her.
Yes, that sounds much better.
Saw her sisters swimming toward her. Their beautiful...
We'll get rid of a good chunk here, too.
Sisters swimming toward her. Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off.
Yeah. All right.
The eldest one carried a sharp knife in her hand. They were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid.
Okay. So I want to get rid of a chunk of this as well, but I don't keep accidentally hitting that twice. I don't think I want to get rid of as much as I just did.
Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off. The eldest one carried a sharp knife.
Actually, that wasn't bad.
Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off. The eldest one carried a sharp
Okay, I actually like that.
in her hand. They were all weeping as they called.
Get rid of some of that too.
A knife in her hand. They were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid.
Okay, I think that space is good too. I want to listen to like that whole little section again. Okay.
Then she saw her sisters swimming toward her. Their beautiful long hair had all been cut off. The eldest one carried a sharp knife in her hand. They were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid.
Yeah, that's good. I like that it has a bit of a rhythm to it. Like, they all sound very similar. Like, those sentences are all similar lengths, so then the breaks between them are similar lengths. I think that... This is a bedtime story. You're supposed to fall asleep listening to it. Okay. So now I'm going to take the sisters audio, which is way over here. I'm going to unmute it, and then I'm actually going to solo it. Wah! Not what I meant to do. Okay. And we shall listen.
Dear sister, we gave our hair to the sea witch in exchange for this knife. Before the sun rises, you must kill the prince with it. Then your legs will disappear, and your tail will grow back. After that, you may come and live with us under the waves again. Dear sister, we gave our hair to the sea witch in exchange for this knife. Before the sun rises, you must kill the prince with it.
I don't
Then
like
your
how hard I
legs will
punched kill
disappear and
there.
your tail will grow back. After that, you may come and live with us under the waves again.
Yeah, the first one is better. Whopple. Unsolo that. Drag it down to the dialogue track, and then we can delete the sisters out. And we are so close to finishing. We are so close to finishing. Arr, 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 arr. Okay. Where am I at? Hold on.
Carried a sharp knife in her hand. They were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid.
Okay. So we want to split this and drag it, and that is quite a ways out. This is like a full 30 seconds. Okay. So we'll go
They
here.
were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid. Dear sister,
Little bit tighter.
sharp knife in her hand. They were all weeping as they called to the little mermaid. Dear sister,
Yeah,
we
that
gave
sounds
our
good.
hair
I think
to the
that's a good
sea
amount of
witch in
space.
exchange for this knife. Before the sun rises, you must kill the prince with it. Then your legs will disappear and your tail will grow back. After that, you may come and live with us under the waves again. The little mermaid
Okay, a little bit tighter here as well.
with us under the waves again. The little mermaid took the knife
Yep, that's
and went
good.
inside the ship to the prince's room. He lay there, asleep beside his bride.
Get rid of a chunk there.
Went inside the ship to the prince's room. He lay there, asleep beside his bride. When she
Yeah, okay. Oh, we're on the last page now. We got this. We got this, chat.
He lay there, asleep beside his bride. When she saw him,
This is like way too long of a space. Oh, I was probably flipping pages. I did it very silently. Isn't that nice?
he lay there, asleep beside his bride. When she saw him, he lay there, asleep beside his bride. When she saw him, tears came to the little...
Get maybe a little tiny bit less in there. Okay. That'll be good though.
Sleep beside his bride. When she saw him,
Yeah, that's it.
tears came to the little mermaid's eyes, and she ran to the deck and flung the knife into the sea. Then, as the sun was rising, she threw herself into the water.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
Him. Tears came to the little mermaid's eyes, and she ran to the deck and flung the knife into the sea. Then, as the sun was rising,
Get rid of some of that too.
she ran to the deck and flung the knife into the sea. Then, as the sun was rising, she threw herself into the water. She waited.
We'll get rid of some of that space too. Oh, we're so close.
Herself into the water. She waited to.
A little bit less space. Okay.
She threw herself into the water. She waited to die and become like the foam on the waves. But instead, she felt herself being lifted high into the air.
Let me remove a little bit of that. I like this space here, but I don't like it as much there.
Foam on the waves. But instead, she felt herself being lifted high into the air.
Yay! Okay.
She cried.
Okay, make sure I get rid of... Oh, this is where the page turning happens. Okay. Great. And also, this little part that she cried, she has a little "Where am I?" which I apparently recorded a lot of times, but that should be her last bit of dialogue. There we go. Okay.
Where am I?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? Do not be sad.
Oh.
All is well.
Right. Okay, she still has another bit of dialogue. I think I prefer the one where there's a little bit of a pause.
Where am I?
Maybe I don't prefer that, actually.
Where am I?
Oh yeah, that one's better. That one's better. Ignore what I said. Okay. unsolo that, and then this is so tiny. Like, I mean, she literally says 3 words, and they're all 1 syllable. Okay, and pull that tighter too.
Lifted high into the air. Where am I? She cried.
That, actually, I do want a little bit more space.
Felt herself being lifted high into the air. Where am I? She cried.
Okay, I like this space here. I want that to be a tiny bit closer. Not that much closer, though. I just pulled it too much.
Lifted high into the air. Where am I? She cried. Lifted high into the air. Where am I? She cried.
Still a little bit closer.
Lifted high into the air. Where am I? She cried.
Yeah, that's it. We did it. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay, and then we have the spirits. The spirits need to speak. Unmute that and solo it. Wait, where are the... Okay, why did I put it all the way back there? Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna listen to this whole recording really quick.
Emma, you are with us, the spirits of the air. Because of your good deed, little mermaid, you have been made one of us. You will not die. Instead, you will travel around the world, spreading peace and kindness, and you will live with us forever.
Apparently, I only recorded that once, so okay. You are with us, the spirits of the air, first. And then there's like a little dialogue tag, and then the rest of that line.
The spirits of the air.
Okay, great. Oh, we should unsolo it and pull you back. Okay. I'm so close, I can feel it. And it's only taken 3 hours, plus the, you know, I think 2 hours it took me before that. Not that much, probably 1 hour before that. That's not bad. 4 hours of editing isn't bad at all. Well, it's gonna take me more. Oh well, okay.
Pride, you are with us.
There's like a page turning sound, hold on.
You are with...
There we go. Okay.
She cried. You are with us.
A little bit closer.
She cried. You are with us.
No.
She cried. You are with us.
Okay. Yes. Can I get... Okay, good. I do have a little bit more room tone to play with there. Okay.
Am I? She cried. You are with us.
Yeah.
The spirits of the air.
Yes, that's it. Okay. And then we want this part. We are so close! Look at that. The end is actually literally in sight. It is on the screen. Okay. Okay.
Spirits of the air, replied a host of musical voices.
Oh, right. That's the other thing I wanted to do was making... Okay.
Spirits of the air, replied a host of musical voices.
Okay. We're gonna split that. I do actually, I'm really excited about this part that I have an idea. Okay. So we're gonna add a stereo track. And we're gonna move it up. Oh, I did not just move it up and then down again. Hold on. Move it up. Move it up. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Make it full. And then we're gonna copy the spirits, right? So there's like 2 of them on top of each other. And then, ready, we're gonna go to effect. And and this pitch and tempo. Change pitch. Okay, so it's on a D5, so I want to move it up a third. Up or down, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's try that and see how that sounds. Because I want it to be in thirds, like I want it to be musical.
You are with us, the spirits of the air.
Oh, that's horrible, I love it.
You are with us, the spirits of the air, replied a host.
That's actually horrendous.
You are with us, the spirits of the air.
It sounds very alien. Okay, I wanna try moving it down instead. Instead of E, move it to a B. Okay.
You are with us, the spirit.
Oh, except I moved it to B5. I should have moved it to B4 if I wanted it to. Okay.
You are with us, the spirit. You are with us, the spirit.
That's better.
Reply.
That's less alien and more mystical. And then if I put, what if we do a reverb there? Like just a really, just a little baby reverb.
You are with us, the spirits of the air.
Yes, and I like the reverb only being on one of them. I think that works. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing when I get to the other half of that. Okay. So we've got to move all of this back so I have enough room to pull this down. All right, and then move it over that way. Okay.
My, she cried. You are with us, the spirits of the air, replied a host of musical.
That needs a little bit more dead space.
The spirits of the air, replied a host of musical voices, because of your.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay.
Of musical voices, because of your good deed.
It sounds so boring to hear just the normal voice now. Like it sounds way wrong.
Yeah, replied a host of musical voices. Because of your good deed, little mermaid, you have been made one of us.
I wanna get rid of some of that space as well.
Little mermaid, you have been made
Yeah,
one
that
of
sounds
us.
better.
You will not die. Instead,
Get rid of some of that too, I think might be better.
you will not die. Instead,
Yeah.
you will travel around the world, spreading peace and kindness, and you will live with us forever.
Okay. So then I need to copy this, put it on this track as well, which also we can delete this top track. Top track. Okay. Oh god, now I have to remember what I did. Okay. Well, first of all, we can take the bottom one and repeat the reverb. Because I only did it on the bottom one. And then effect, change pitch. Okay. So I lowered it. I'm lowering it from here a third. I want it there, right?
Because of your good deed, little mermaid.
Those aren't lined up. That's what was wrong.
Because of your good deed, little mermaid, you have been made one of us.
Yeah,
You will not.
that sounds better.
The air. Where am I? She cried. You are with us.
Yeah,
the
that's
spirits
it.
of the air, replied a host of musical voices. Because of your good deed, little mermaid, you have been made one of us. You will not die.
Instead, you will travel around the world, spreading peace and kindness, and you will live with us forever.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, we did it. And again, so close to the end. So close to the end. I can taste it.
And you will live with us forever.
The Little Mermaid felt full of joy.
And move this over a little bit less dead air.
And you will live with us forever.
The Little Mermaid felt
that's
full
better.
of joy. Looking down, she saw the prince gazing sadly into the water, as if he were looking for her. She flew down to him.
Okay, get rid of some of that as well.
Sadly into the water, as if he were looking for her. She flew down to him and whispered,
Okay. Now I get to pick one of these takes.
"Do not be sad. All is well. Do not be sad. All is well."
I like that second one. That second one sounds much happier. Okay. This is right. I got that right, that's where the split is. Hold on, I'm not sure now.
She flew down to him and
Yeah, okay. Great. Yes, okay.
she flew down to him and whispered.
A little bit more that way.
She flew down to him and whispered, "Do not be sad." To him and whispered, "Do not be sad. All is well."
Oh, we're so close.
As if he were looking for her. She flew down to him and whispered, "Do not be sad. All is well." As the prince's face grew peaceful,
A little bit more like that. Okay.
as if he were looking for her. She flew down to him and whispered, "Do not be sad. All is well." As the prince's face grew peaceful again, the little mermaid joined hands with the other spirits of the air and rose into the clouds. As the prince's face grew peaceful again. As the prince's face grew peaceful again, the little mermaid joined hands with the other spirits of the air and rose into the clouds.
I kind of like the first one there. All right, I think that's it. I think we're done.
Into the water, as if he were looking for her. She flew down to him and whispered, "Do not be sad. All is well." As the prince's face grew peaceful again, the little mermaid joined hands with the other spirits of the air and rose into the clouds.
That's it. That's it. We did it. We're done. Oh my God. I mean, I still have all of the sound effect stuff to do. But look at that. What is the final time, actually? What did it end up at? 13 minutes. That's great. That's way less than I expected. Okay. Good. I have sound effect stuff to do. I also need to record an intro. I want to record myself saying, who wrote it and who's reading it and all of that. But yes, that's a good feeling. I got so much done tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with me and helping me be productive. Yay. All right, and I think with that, I'm gonna close off the stream. It's been a good 3 hours. Oh my God, it's been 3 hours. But yes, I'm gonna finish it. Obviously, I mean, it's a final for class. I have to finish it. Once I do, I want to upload this full final product onto my channel here, so you guys will be able to listen to the final thing. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Good night, au revoir.